me off because he sat at a podium and was like, like it happened. We apologized. And like, so my punishment is this is how people will label me. Like he almost doesn't seem as if he cares.
Society has a very twisted thought process that equals control when it comes to relationships.
Well, that's because for the most part, sex does equal control. That's why, if we're being honest, all right, and I'm not judging nobody. If we're being honest, that's part of the reason why you need to be careful who you I'm up to it. I'm up to it. I'm up to it.
I'm with it. We going there. We live. We live.
That's the show, Dada.
We in the building.
Yeah. We out here, baby. I think we out here. My mic sound nice.
We live.
Check one.
We live.
Check one, check two.
Real live, real organic.
Real most organic conversation in the history of the world. That's what we doing. That's all good.
Like the most. Indeed.
Hey man, listen, man, we working this thing out, man. We got a couple of new things. There we go. Okay.
Now we getting somewhere.
Yeah, we getting somewhere. Okay, we got Q there with the stone face. It's all good. We gonna roll on and we're gonna make this work today. So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Assuming we can still call you that, because a lot has changed in January. So a lot of things. Woo, might not be able to do that too much longer. But that being said, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Up to It, Down to It, the most organic conversation on the internet. And this is going to be a fun one.
Guaranteed
this is going to be a fun one. So with all that being said, man, I hope everybody's doing well tonight. I hope everybody had a good week. And if not, we're here to turn up your weekend. It's your Friday night delights at it one more time. So get ready to have a good time, man. So with all that being said, as we do to the right on my screen, to my left in real life, the immovable force. Holla at him. Holla at you.
Oh snap! I'm not even used to being in the position that I'm in. But what's good, everybody? Happy Friday! Certainly a pleasure to be here with you all this evening. As y'all know, I bring some stuff to you all the time. So the guy by the name of Jamal Jackson, Hux Spirits, HUX Spirits, hooked up these sangrias for my oldest brother's 40th birthday. Happy birthday again, Al! And so we had these as a part of a wonderful party and a wonderful time. So I'm actually about to crack this sangria and let y'all know what it's hitting on. But that's not the only thing we on tonight. So y'all stay with. Oh man, that actually. All right. Huck Spirits, HUX Spirits. Shout out to him. That sangria is absolutely delicious. Never let Old Faithful go. So Captain Morgan and Coke is gonna be it for me tonight. And when we got to go up to it, down to it, these are shots at 1800. And you may be saying to yourself, Kev, you got a whole lot of things going on. First of all, mind your business. All right. And second of all, I'm a grown man drinker. Okay. So ain't none of this going to affect me. We hydrate and all the good things. So grab yourself a good glass, get ready to pour it with us and have a good time, man. Let's do this.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. There we go. My bad. Couldn't get off the mute button good enough. But yeah, no, that's what's up. That's what's up. And as you said, stay hydrated, man. Look, stay thirsty, my friends. Okay. We out here with it, man. All right, cool, man. Down bottom. Well, I guess Caddy Corner for me. He's back. Right on the cab. The kamikaze. Talk to us.
Me, what it is, everybody? What it do? We here for another Friday on Up to It, Down to It, and I'm glad to see y'all. Look, I'm just saying, make sure everybody take care of yourself. Be well, get well, be wealthy in 2023, y'all. That's my word.
That's money. See what we did there? Be wealthy. That's money. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And last but certainly not least, my LB,
Right
the
now, I'm not sipping,
inspirational.
as y'all know.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Go ahead, Q. You just kind of popped in there.
Oh, right now, I'm not sipping. I'm in the hydration game because y'all still know I'm in recovery. So give it one more week, and we back to regular scheduled program. Love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. And we gonna pass that bucket right on over. Last but not least, to
Right. For the new people, he's not a recovering alcoholic, just, for the record. Yeah.
Alcoholics with a
recovering
meter.
from surgery.
Yeah, there we go. He said, just so you know, I'm in recovery. Just wanted to make sure that we had an understanding.
Right.
It was surgery, not drugs, even though
Right.
they were included.
Hey, that's one good thing about surgery is you get access to tons of drugs.
All the good ones. All the good
All
ones.
the good ones. All the real good ones.
Rich, what's good with you?
Yes,
What's
sir.
going on,
LB, talk to me.
everybody? It's me, King Rich, in the building. This is gonna be very organic because, yeah, we live. It's a lot of things happening right now, and I hope everybody's fine, like wine, and getting better with time. I'm gonna leave you with this. This is one of my quotes that I came up with personally because this is one of my beliefs. Um, and it's actually it came from this example. So I got a text. So I get my text from my church, right? It says, "Let Jesus be your example. He came to serve, not be served. He came to give, not take. He came to die so you could live." And so what that says to me is, it reminded me of the quote that I had when I was online, and that was, I'm sorry, not when I was online. It came about when I was in college, right? Towards the end of college. It was, if everybody is receiving, then who's doing the giving? But if everybody's giving, everybody's receiving. So take what you want from it. Love y'all. Let's get into the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's good stuff right there, man. I like that. Straight up.
Hey, I definitely forgot a couple of things, because we big on pointing out brands and all of that. So want to shout out Unbossed Apparel for this shirt, just a black man trying to be a good dad. That's Unbossed Apparel, black owned brand, and it's tax season. So if you're looking for the person that's going to get your coins back with you right, then you need to hit up my sister Shonda's Nikki Lewis, and I'll bring that information to you a little bit later. But it is tax season, so make sure Uncle Sam don't get you. All that.
Got that.
We real live.
I need to
It's
get me
all
a
the
shirt like
way
that, bro.
live.
We need more good black
Yeah.
men with those.
And Trey is behind us like a shadow. I don't even know how that happens if he's the one in charge, but we gonna figure this thing out.
Yeah.
So we here to take over the show. Listen,
All right.
we're here to take over the show. I got cards.
Hey, hey, you want to? Oh, those cards you was telling us about
This is as
the
good
last time, right?
as good a time as any while Trey gets himself together.
I think
No,
we
so
back.
again, so a ton of self reflection things. You with us, Trey?
I think. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, that was in time.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right. We good then. Back in this bed like we never left. But yes, we are gonna be getting into the cards. What you got for us, Kev?
So again, we talked about these last week and didn't get a chance to get into it because last week was wild. But these are what's the name of the actual game? Um, I don't know, but it's a self reflection pack. So they give you a ton of questions to think about before you start dating, while you're dating, like long term dating, first dates, icebreakers, and things like that. So I've been, trying to go through a card or two a day just to, reflect. So I'm gonna throw one of these at you all and give you something to think about. So the card says, "How is my relationship with myself, and what can I do to improve it?" And so as organic as I can be, because I know I was gonna pull that card, but it's ideal, to be comfortable with yourself before trying to pursue somebody else, and even in the midst of relationships and all of that, you want to have just be sure of who you are throughout the entire process. But I would say, one of the things that I can do to improve for me would just be to I tend to not want to be confrontational, or not confrontational, but like speak up even when necessary. So one of the things that I'm continuing to work on is speaking my mind so that I don't have to carry, some of the angst with me when I'm feeling a way about certain things.
That's a bet. That's good stuff. And I like that, man. I like that. I like that. I'm looking forward to getting into that as well. And with that being said, getting right into it, I mean, welcome to people who are already here. Liz back again. What up, Liz? Always good to see you.
The family, proud of you.
Hey, man, had a great time with her and Nicole and Rashada last weekend, man. It was great stuff, man. Always good to have y'all. What y'all, I guess, takeaways? Because I know the audio was all jacked up, kind of like what was happening earlier. But what's some takeaways you guys kind of have from last week? We kind of catch a few people up on.
uh Rich.
Oh man, that's a good question. Shoot, man, it was I think all around it's all about communication. Communication is the key. Without it, all things will fail. And also one of the things that I took away as well was not just purely communication, but I think it's words mean things. So we got to take that into account as well. And I battle back and forth with this with your feelings mean nothing. No, real talk. I battle back and forth with that. Your feelings mean nothing. And I don't say that like, well, I say it both ways. I say it,
Right, not to
as
be a
in
jerk, but
myself, and I say it as in like to somebody else, not to be a jerk, but um, you know, it, it's- growing up, right? I remember, I remember getting into fights. I remember getting clowned, all of that, right? But but a lot of that happened in family, and I appreciate it because when I got out into the world, right, uh, that stuff was bouncing off on me. My 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 immediate family, my brother, sister, my cousins. You couldn't touch me. I was growing up. I was a short little mean monster. I was you could you could the world couldn't break me. And I think that's important as well. Uh, so, but like I said, all around, those would probably be the two biggest takeaways that I took from it. Period. It was good conversation. I wish that we probably need to look into if we go live like that again. We should probably look into like getting some more cameras, of course, some mics and whatnot. Full transparency to everybody out there. Like, you know, we hey, if we keep the direction we're headed, man, we're gonna have to, we got
Do
to
some things, you know.
do some things.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Shoot,
Yeah.
or have a live audience.
Yeah.
We'd
No,
be at
I'm
a
with
we'd be at a hey, we'd be at a restaurant or something, or some spot, and then have everybody out, so people get the business can get money because everybody's gonna be ordering food and whatnot.
while we have some good organic conversation.
I'm
There
saying.
you go.
I'm with you. I would say the one other thing that really stuck out to me was that we could have discourse amongst each other and walk like we laughed it off after after everything was done. So there's no oh, because you said something that I don't agree with, now we got to take it to the streets or anything like that. No domestic violence, no, what I'm saying, whatever. It's just civil discourse, and we keep it pushing because again, we don't expect everybody to have the same opinions. The world would be boring if we did. But I can hear your opinion, take it in. I can agree with it, I can disagree with it, but we family, we friends at the end of the day. So I can always appreciate that.
Yeah,
I totally agree. That
yeah,
was actually one too for me, because for me, it's why would you want to be around people that that are yes people, right? That agree with you all the time. I mean, that was those are some challenging questions being thrown back and forth, and that's needed. That's needed in my opinion. We need to be able to challenge each other and question, you know. So that's
yeah,
good stuff. Good stuff, Kev.
yeah. Agreed. Um, Let me make sure I'm coming through. Okay, are we good? Okay. All right, cool. I'll take the thumbs up as a yes. Um, Nah, man. I agree, and I think the civil discourse part was huge. I think. So yeah, man. I think it was good. Great conversation. Great perspective. I always like hearing perspectives that are opposite of my own. So, um, yeah. I was always. I had a lot of fun with that, man. We definitely got to do it again. Definitely gonna get our microphone game up. Definitely gonna get our camera game up, and we'll go from there. I'm working on it. Okay. I'm working on it. All right. I had to start a cash app, man, something like that. But anyway, hey man, look. That being said, let's get right into it, man. We got a couple of things to cover. I want to just, I guess, lightheartedly, real quick. We can look at this. Have y'all? So there's a tweet going on.
There is a tweet going on. I'm I don't know what the tweet is. Again, this is real live and real organic.
This is real life, real organic.
And for the
I think
record,
he was trying. Yeah, go ahead.
we're on a new platform, so that's where the technical difficulties are coming from. I don't know which tweet he talking about, but I'm gonna go with this one because I'm with like he said fun. This probably ain't
Okay,
fun.
it's the Rugrats one. It's the
Oh, the
Rugrats
rug.
one.
Okay, the
Okay.
Rugrats one. All right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, because yeah,
Okay.
we too early to be
All right.
angry.
This is wild, real quick. All right, look, man, get your drinks ready, man. We just gonna look at this one actually. So let's take a look at some of these and give y'all we can give y'all honest feedback on it. Here we go. Now, that last one,
It's wild.
that last one.
Oh,
The
the okay,
last two,
the fixed one, the fixed
the
one or the
fixed
last
one,
one?
yeah.
The fixed
The
one,
last one is the wild one. The
yeah,
fixed one
the
was
last.
good. The last one is the wild one.
Woo, yeah, my and when I saw it, my my black rage, it took off. It
Yeah,
took off.
yeah,
Like for a while, I was just trying to figure out who was with who, especially the Phil and Lil part. And then there were some
yeah.
characters that came later on that like once they had Dill, Dill Pickles. Once they had Dill, I like kind of checked out on Rugrats. I mean, so I like whoever Lil is with in the show. If that's not Dill, I don't know who that character is.
So, um, I think Lil is with Chucky. That's the first one, I think. Let me hold on. Let's see.
That one, I thought that wasn't Angelica.
Chucky. First one's Chucky.
Chucky and
With
Lil.
what looks to be Lil. Yep.
So who is this dude with
This
Angelica?
I'm. So here's the problem: is I think that's Tommy.
Tommy grew orange hair.
Huh?
So it's either Tommy or Dill. So what I understand is that Dill apparently in All Grown Up, like when they were like 10 or 12 or whatever it was that thing they did.
Uh,
Apparently he started sprouting red hair like his mom because Dee Dee got red hair.
true story.
Right. So when we know Tommy was bald, we don't know what he had. So I think that purple one is I think that's
Deal.
Phil and Kimmy.
Okay.
Phil, yeah, Phil with like Kimmy. All right.
Who's
Tommy's not
Kenny?
there, but then they got Dill with Angelica, which is weird because they're cousins.
Well, if this is Arkansas,
Or West Virginia
listen.
country
West
home.
VA, West VA, stand up. Is y'all really do that out there? That's wild. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's funny.
Um, Man, okay, so this is the part. Yep, here we go. Black Rage Rising. Okay, yeah, here we go. Let's go ahead and put it out there right now. Why is Susie the
Yeah,
single mom?
yeah. They
Let's
they
get
they
into it.
they tried it. They tried it. I that's all I got. And once I got past the trying to figure out who everybody else was, I was like, yo, ooh, ooh,
Yeah, yeah, they did that.
yeah.
They did that. And what's really wild about it. So we got two infractions. One, the black girl's a single mom. Two, Angelica's with her cousin, or deals with his cousin, however you want to. They're cousins.
Maybe her
They're
husband
cousins.
died.
So, so
And so
they
you go
taking
to her cousin. You go to your cousin. You go to your
they
cousin for the rebound.
they taking the South Park approach to this.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's what we do. I don't know,
That's
man. Ain't really too many excuses for that one. I'm,
it,
this is a fair or foul. I'm gonna go ahead and call that one foul.
all the way foul.
Thumbs
All the
down.
way foul.
I will
It's
say
all
this
the
though.
way found.
Mm.
The last one though, I did like the with them as doctors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to I believe it's Real Tunes, RealToons. Check them out on Instagram. Uh, got a lot of good drawings on there. But yeah, thank God they fixed that because I think that should be more. I think if we're gonna talk about an image of black women, you know, or image of black people, you'd want to show an image of successful people. I would think. You know, we're gonna talk about single moms in a minute, a little bit later, but yeah, I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't feeling that. That's the worst bit of a stereotype um, that I can think of. However, I'm going to pose one question: is it a stereotype if it's true?
Yes. Yes. Because stereotypes take a portion of truthful information, but still use that to describe a larger section of people than what it really is. Is it true that black people like fried chicken? Yes. Does every black person like fried chicken? No. Does every black person like grape soda? No. Watermelon? No. Like, but those are stereotypes about black people that we like fried chicken, grape Kool-Aid, or grape soda and watermelon.
Well, okay, all right. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I agree because obviously nothing's true for everybody. Everything's true for somebody, right?
Right.
So while it doesn't apply to all black people, could we argue that it applies to those things you just mentioned? Probably applies to 8 out of 10 black people.
Maybe the fried chicken part. That grape soda
Okay,
part's hit or miss. I actually am not a fan of grape soda.
I'm not a fan of grape soda either. I used to
Right.
be though. I'm not. I'm not
So,
anymore. I'm not anymore.
so now that's 2/3 of our panel
I've never
without.
been a fan of grape soda, really. Uh,
Fair.
Maybe grape drink when I was younger, but
I was an orange soda guy.
It was red. It was red Kool-Aid for us.
yeah, it was red. It was either
Red. Red. There ain't no flavor.
what it was the red huggy, red. It was, yeah, had to be red.
I actually love
Yeah,
watermelon.
the red huggy was dope. And I'm not a big fan of watermelon. I'm not a big fan of the watermelon.
Yeah, I actually do
My,
like
wi-
watermelon
my,
a
my
lot.
wife is she loves it. I'm not a big fan.
I like infused watermelon
My,
even more.
yeah, my sister-in-law there she is. Your tax person extraordinaire, Shonda's Lewis. I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah,
She don't
yeah.
like it. Her husband, my oldest brother, he doesn't like it. Has never liked watermelon, and we always thought he was weird. We ate it a lot.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of watermelon. But at least not like it's not like cantaloupe or stuff like that though. That those are worse. Cantaloupes taste like a watermelon that doesn't believe in itself.
I like well, cantaloupe's got to be ripe. If it ain't ripe, I don't like it. I like cantaloupe, but what recently grew on me was honeydew. Like I was never a fan of honeydew until
Honeydew's
late.
good, yeah,
It's
yeah.
really good. Yeah,
Admittedly, I wasn't a fan of that till I got older either. I agree.
yeah.
I
But I
agree.
also felt the same way about salads. I didn't like salads as a kid.
You
Is
know
that
what
what
I
I'm
didn't
No,
like
me
as a
either.
kid? Squash.
Mm.
I didn't like squash as a kid. Squash, zucchini, all of that.
They just
Didn't like it.
no,
All of
they
that.
just look
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Now,
yeah. That whole family. I wasn't
now,
a fan.
man, you saute them suckers up, throw some salt, pepper. It can be
Yes,
simple,
sir.
simple
You in
stuff, man.
business. You in business.
Mm,
It's the
mm.
little things, man.
Throw
It's
some
the little
broccoli
things.
in the oven real quick. You know what I'm
Preaching
saying?
better than
Some
say amen.
oil over it, salt, pepper, some lemon. Drizzle some lemon juice over it. Oh, Trey Mag
No
beef.
arguments.
Going into a cooking segment here.
Right? Right? You get no arguments from me at all. Now this is an interesting one. Brussels sprouts. All right. I still don't like Brussels sprouts. I didn't like them when I was a kid. I don't like them as a grown up.
I don't understand them.
Like
Are
eggplant.
they like
I
are they
don't
like
get that
midget
either.
cabbages?
They're, hey, that's offensive. All right.
Are they little people cabbages?
Hey man. All right, we off this food kick because I'm actually getting a little rumbly in my tumbly over here, man. Kind of hungry myself. Nah, man. Rugrats, do better. Do better. And just because it may be a stereotype about our community doesn't mean you got to draw it out. That's not. I feel like stereotypes shouldn't be representation. Like that's not the same as representation. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that if that's all you're gonna do, if that's all you're gonna represent us as, if you're only gonna represent us as a stereotype, then I would say don't bother representing us at all. Us or our women who well, never mind, I'll get into that later. But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. That's how I feel about it. And yes, they are midget cabbages apparently. Well, there you have it. Well, with all that being said, off that, look, man, it's still football season, the tail end of it. Baltimore's not in the playoffs. However, we got players from Baltimore still making headlines. Coach Ed Reed, is out as the coach of Bethune-Cookman University.
He was technically
They,
never in.
he said what?
He was technically never in.
He was technically never in,
He was
and that's
named,
a
but you know,
so
negotiate.
here's what I mean. This is definitely a fair or foul segment. So y'all get y'all cups ready. I want to play a little bit of from Ed Reed's own mouth, his own mind, his own words. So look, let's check it out, and then y'all tell us what y'all think. Let's go up to it, baby.
It's hurt. It's hurt because I know people don't care about these kids like I do. And they should be the ones leaving. Not me. Because I don't want to. I took $2,400 out of my pocket and still gave it to the host. To host these young men. Even though I knew they didn't want me. Shit, at this point, I'd do it for free. Because I have been for the last 3 weeks. That man have too. He drove from New Orleans. Because he believed in me and my vision. And that man right there who flew from California less than 2 hours and got off the plane, and he was here to see the rant. He got off the plane, and what we started doing, young man? Yeah, I curse. And y'all done heard curse words before. And they got parents in here. You know I don't want to leave. But they got some corrupt people in this world, some evil people that don't care about kids like I do. So I want y'all to hear the truth from me. I ain't withdrawing my name. I got the receipts. They got all kind of stuff going on around here. Hoarding these buildings with nothing but trash in them. You understand me? I spoke the truth. Just because you hear some curse words? When the Klan came in 1904 and stood right outside, and Dr. McClain stood just like this by herself. Come with it. And you worrying about curse words when they got people who are out here trying to kill these young men? What's up, big bro?
Hey, I love you, man. You know that, right?
Yep.
We talked about this. We talked about this. We know the structure. We know the order. We know how it was going to play out. And you've been there fighting. I know what you're feeling. I know what you're going through. You got to understand, Ed, God has a time and a place for you, my brother. And I know your heart. I know everything that's going on inside of you. You know, I know you like a book. And I know how you feel about them kids, and I know you do not want to leave those kids. So I'm praying for you right now, man, because this is going to be the toughest thing you ever had to do in your life. Sometimes, Ed, you got to walk away, my brother. I know it's tough. I know you don't want to hear it. But sometimes in life, we got to walk away. You didn't let nobody down, Ed. You didn't let them kids down. You did what you was called to do, and you tried your best.
And Dion was right. And I know I'm right. And they got some people in here who be snitching to their ass. And I work amongst Judas as Jesus walked with him. And I ain't have a problem with it. Sir. And what God got for you, no man can take.
Okay, we back again. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Lots to take in from that one. Lots to unpack. Fair or foul? Bethune-Cookman. How they treating Ed Reed?
So if you ask me that question, I'll call it fair. Um, and this is my perspective. Wasn't no ink dry on any paper. So like they had named him the coach, but they were still in negotiations about contract. He hadn't signed anything. They, hadn't issued anything. They were just like it's almost like the college route. You commit verbally, and then you ain't there until you signed the paper with that college, accepted the scholarship, boom, 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 boom. So this is the way it kind of went for them. And so while you're in that process, like good, bad, or indifferent, you shouldn't be bad mouthing your employer. And for what it's worth, like a lot of companies function like that. Like while you work for me or you're in the process of working for me, like while they're vetting you and all of that, you shouldn't be saying anything about the company. Not to, and this is why I said the question is the way you posed it is fair. Not to say that Bethune Cookman is without fault because the school got issues. Newsflash though, every school has issues. But, at certain institutions, you don't see and you don't hear head coaches or prospective head coaches bad mouthing a school, even if they know that their arrival at the school is in the midst of turnaround and change and all of that. Think about when the Penn State scandal came out. The school was falling apart, but still, you as a staff person better not have said anything about, like Penn State bad. We knew what Sandusky did and, like all of that, but you're still not going to talk about the university. So, like, he's got an, Ed Reed should have known better, to keep his mouth closed. There's a way to go about it, and it's internal first, not jumping on social medias live and broadcasting it that way.
I don't disagree with that. Go ahead, Rich. Yeah, I think you're muted, bro. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that either. When put that when put that way, that question put that way, then yeah, I think it's fair because, like Kev said, the ink's not dry. I mean, and even if the ink was dry, it's like, when you are working for, a company. I mean, yeah, they're not going to want you to badmouth the company. It's all about it. It, it is if you're supposed to be the leader, right? And then there's something going on that you don't like. I mean, you you gotta address those issues in house. But the ink wasn't dry on the paper, so he wasn't even technically in house yet. So um, while I sometimes the question to me is, well, is what Ed Reed's doing, or is what Bethune doing, or any college, is it in the best interest of the students, or is it political, or is it this, or is it that? And so I think if we just keep the main thing, and again, communication is the key. So he's got to realize that he's not the owner, so he can't just go off cuff willy nilly saying whatever he wants to say, or again, you reap the repercussions of what you say. Um, so could it have been handled a different way? Probably if he really wanted to help, if he really wanted to make changes, um, maybe it could have been handled a different way. I don't know.
I hear you. So okay, while I don't disagree with the points that you guys made, I'm calling it foul. Um, Here's why. Let me explain. Um, while your points are valid, both of your points are valid. That in the end, he didn't technically have the job, and it's almost like being on probation, right? Like if you don't have the job, then you don't really have leverage to say too much. But on the other hand, knowing, so speaking from Anthony's perspective, right? As coach, somebody that you said earlier.
You're muffled. You're a little muffled there.
Real muffled.
Okay, all right. All right. Good.
There we go.
Struggle time.
There we go.
Okay. Um. So, but yeah, like he coming from the perspective of a coach who's had access to NFL stuff, who's had access to um, you know, uh, university. I think he was working at University of Miami, right? Like right before this job. So he's also a fairly passionate person, right? I think what he was mad about is that the kids have to go and be a part of that facility. Now, yes, he could have handled it a different way. However, the way Cookman handled it, in my opinion, is not a solution oriented way. It's like they fired him not because what he said was untrue or wrong, but just because they were mad that he said it in public. And I don't think me personally, again, y'all know how I feel about free speech. I'm not one that believes that, you know, you can say whatever you want as long as it's not this thing, that thing, that thing, or that thing. I don't believe in that. Either I can say what I want or I can't, right? Um, I think the way that they took was honestly, it's indicative of what happens when we point out stuff in families and in communities and households within our community. The stuff that happens when somebody points it out, then it's an attack because you brought up the bad thing, right? You got to attack that person because they brought up something bad. They brought up something negative. They shine light on something negative. So rather than address the negative, you attack the person that brought out the negative, and I don't think that's right. So I'm calling it foul on Cookman's part.
Well, well, just with that analogy, I feel like that would be a little different because, like, if we have a family issue and I call out the family issue, chances are I'm calling it out in front of the family. So, like, even though it may not be popular to call it out in front of the family, I did it in front of the family. Now, if I went on Facebook and talked about my family, that would be a little different. But like, just with us and those issues that have been kind of brushed under, swept under the rug. Like when you call that out in front of family, that's still happening. That's at the Thanksgiving table. That's at, Christmas dinner. That's, what I'm saying? Like, shoot, even in the church, like, but like that's a family, group, but it's not
Yeah.
taking it to social media because then that's a twofold problem. Like we have Discord with us and you're letting people in on our Discord.
But so now let me ask you this though. So a couple weeks ago we brought up the situation with Lil Romeo and Master P, right?
Hmm.
And the consensus overall was a little bit different. It was more like, yeah, he put it on social media, but I mean, he tried to bring it to you in person. He tried to bring it to you one on one, and now it's going in on social media. So like we kind of rated that as fair, but by the analogy you're giving or the example you're giving, that should have all stayed in house, right?
So
No,
again, I don't know if Ed Reed did all of that though. I
right.
I,
Well,
I haven't
according to
researched. I
according
haven't
to his
seen.
publicist, he did. I don't know, but according to his publicist, he did.
Oh, but okay, okay, but for how long though? You know what I'm
I
saying?
was,
It's like Romeo and his family, allegedly have been going through this for years in our legitimate family, and again, he wanted to call them out. Hey, like you said, freedom of speech, right? But again, that comes with certain react. Every action has a reaction, right? Um, so again, the way that the question was asked, I mean, could Ed Reed help build, Bethune Cookman, to to the next level? Absolutely. But if I'm a family member and you're how long was he? How long was he with
this,
FAMU?
this
It was
is
only
only
well,
been
Bethune Cookman. It was only
I
3 weeks.
mean, FAMU, Bethune Cookman. I apologize. And all right.
Same shit. Oh no, I'm playing.
you really like you
Same,
really
yeah,
like it.
South somewhere, right? No, listen, but that's the thing. If I'm looking at if I'm Bethune and I'm looking at, dang, like you just got here, you already airing out our dirty laundry. We got so much other stuff. I mean, this has been going on for who knows how long. These conditions,
But
and
why?
obviously it hasn't been the forefront of whoever's in charge, wanted to. It hasn't been at the forefront of their mind. They didn't care about it enough. Nobody cared about it enough. So then here comes somebody that cares about it enough and has uh the spotlight, right?
The
Or
cachet.
did you say what?
The cachet.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. There you
yeah.
go. So on one hand, I kind of want to say that it's fair for Ed Reed to point it out, right? It's fair, but it's like he's not even in the family yet to really like dig his heels in and then make that move. You know,
But
so even if he had an
But
opinion,
he was though. But he was in the trenches. Like, the whole reason the video was posted was because it was him, his staff, and his kids. That
right? But
were cleaning the campus. So he was already putting in work even without
I get
any
that. But
ink
at
on the
that
paper.
point, but at that point, are you is this volunteer work?
Well, it has to be if he's not getting paid. If he's not on
It
paper
is
yet.
because again, they
Exact,
right they had to sign that contract. and
exactly.
and and
So
even a part of that, like with him saying, I've been here, they ain't even cleaned out my office yet. Well, if you like, again, if you haven't put the ink to paper, like, this not your stuff yet. So, and again, we're
No,
talking about
that's true.
HBCUs which are underfunded, like, greatly, like, and Maryland schools, we just want our stuff, but the money's coming in. Bethune is fighting their fight, and the Maryland fight for HBCUs took forever for them to recognize that we were grossly underfunded in comparison to Towson, to College Park, to Salisbury, the ones that surround us. So, like, Florida is in that fight. So FAMU is missing like 1.1 billion dollars, that compared to, what I'm saying, the Florida states and the schools around them. So you can only imagine what Bethune is missing. So if we don't see that kind of money, you don't have the staff that you want that could flip your campus from dirty to clean in a day, especially after, what was that, a tropical storm or hurricane that came through. Like, I'm just saying, money solves a lot of problems. The things that Ohio State never has to worry about, we do, because money makes a difference.
I don't. I agree, and but what I think though is when you have somebody like an Ed Reed, an NFL Hall of Famer, he ain't broke. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be willing to put up if you're willing to work. I think what he saw, and I think I know what he saw because I listened to him on Roland Martin. Check that out, by the way. And if y'all want to see the full video that was chopped up, that's in the description as well. But or will be in the description. But like it's like if you go into a place and you see how jacked up it is and you see, wow, this is an uphill battle, we got a lot of work ahead of us. How did it even get this way in the first place? Because like y'all said, it's been like that for how long, for how many years, for how many possibly decades it's been like that. It don't take billions of dollars of funding to pick trash up. You know what I'm saying? It don't take billions of dollars of funding to, for general upkeep. Now, for buildings, yeah, for facilities, yeah, for, equipment, yeah, but not trash. You know what I'm saying?
I get I get it. I get it.
so
You
And I think that's the
so
that's the issue. My bad, go ahead.
trash. Okay, so all right. So at what point do we now, rally our students, to get involved and clean up, keep their own school clean? At what point do we like really, like, if the money's not there, if all of it's not there, like at what point do we now rally and really like have students take ownership and pride in their school if it's this dirty? Now I get it, there should be somebody there, they should have staff and whatnot. But if they don't have the funds to have those staff members to be like, other schools that have the privilege of having people clean up behind you, clean up behind yourselves. If you want to have a homecoming, why not? If somebody's littering, hey, tell your homie that you brought to homecoming, hey, don't litter, hey, throw it in the trash. Clean up behind yourselves. This is your school. This is your,
Pride in your campus.
ownership,
Yeah,
pride in your school. You know,
yeah.
you got to clean out a shed, or you got to wash your own uniforms, or you got to, share helmets. I used to share football helmets in high school. You know, I was
Yeah.
sharing a helmet before ninth, before I was even technically in ninth grade, because when I entered, tryouts and all of that. But still, like you gotta take some pride in it. And what are you doing? What is the leadership, of Bethune doing to really rally that? Like, if you don't have funds, what is the leadership there at Bethune doing to rally this? Because money is a means to an end.
Right.
Money's not everything. Money can get you a lot of things, But where is that pride and where's that rally cry, right? To get the students and everybody that's there, even the staff members involved,
Well,
to
the
bring it
irony
to
is,
that next level.
yeah, no, you're right, and the irony is, I think that not I think the Bethune Cookman's the students are protesting the conditions that they are under right now. Like, so it's a bunch of students on Bethune Cookman's campus that are protesting as we speak, and that's another reason why I'm kind of like, yeah, I gotta say that's foul because the students are also like, wait, we got mold, we got trash, we got facilities not working, we got bad water, like all kinds of other things. We got issues going on down here. So you can get mad at LG, but that goes back to what I was saying before. You can get mad at LG for exposing it, but in the end, what are you gonna do about it? What's gonna happen? Nothing. The same as what's always happened. By the way, the president of the Clinton, also was on Roland Martin, so you can hear his reasoning as well. You can check that out, YouTube that. Um, I think personally, I think he's full of shit. Personally, I think he's totally full of shit. But you listen to it yourself and let us know what you think. I'm gonna get off of that for the sake of time, but hey man, best of luck to Coach Reed either way. Big shout out to Coach Prime for jumping in and kind of helping to calm him down a little bit. Um, wish him the best, man. Wish him the best. Leave it at that. All right, cool, man. Let's get ready for this next one, man. We got one
Yeah, we
more.
can go on to the next one because I was about to get into what's their football record been like?
2-9 last season,
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
and
and I'll tell you what,
we
if
got
their record's been trash, their facility's probably why.
take your time.
Whoa, whoa, we got a celebrity in the building.
Woo!
Whoa, what's up, sis? Good
Hey,
to see you.
what's up,
Good to
sis?
see you.
I'm drinking.
One of my favorites, man. One of my favorites of all time, man.
Absolutely.
Good to see you,
Absolutely.
Lisa. Good stuff, man. What else? Who else we got here? We got my man Jay, my man Jason Owens. What's up, brother?
Always loyal. Always loyal. What up, bro?
Yeah, man. Let's see. He got somebody. Ed Reed. Ed Reed's timing might have been off, but he was absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't wrong about none of that. And in the end, Cookman, the school, the administration, whoever it is, needs to step their game up because it's unacceptable. I'll leave it at that.
And so, fast fact, they did meet, and they said they're like putting $3 million towards reconstructing the facilities so that they're in better condition. So, with some NFL, because they have NFL players,
Yeah.
and they were in a meeting, and so they're going to work together and make some contributions.
I guess my question is, to Rich, your point, if Ed Reed doesn't put this on social media, do they make those calls?
No.
Let me ask you this: what's the alumni? I mean, if we're all talking about money, what's alumni doing? What's All right, never mind. Come on, we gotta get off this. We gotta move on.
Struggling to pay student loans?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Kind of hard to donate if I got to pay back all this money in student loans. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying.
All right, where we at?
All right, we're getting ready to move to the main topic real quick. So I want y'all to take a look at this real quick, and give me y'all feedback. So let's go get y'all cups in the air, or bottles, or cans, or whatever it is y'all do. Let's do it.
Most women, right, don't take criticism real, right? So even if she asks you something, let's say, you know what, are you making me happy? And I look at you and say, no, you're not. You're not doing this. I feel like your cooking is not that good. I feel like I'm not getting sex as frequently as I would like, or as frequently as you advertised when we were in the dating stage. I feel like you are not that attentive to me in things that you don't benefit from. I feel like, XYZ, a man get to laying that shit out to most women. If we gonna be honest, she gonna, like, all she heard is what I'm not doing. And typically how that goes is it gets flipped immediately. Oh yeah, well, when you do this, or with what you doing, instead of actually taking the criticism that a man's giving you, going back to work on it and implementing it into the relationship, like men have to do. So that's why I feel like the disconnect is women talk like it's very easy for this man to just communicate what you're not doing and I'll go fix it. That's not the case.
Okay, so here we go. What do you think about that? Do y'all think that women actually want the honesty that they ask for? Or is it about, like someone said earlier, not what you say but how you say it? What's your feedback?
Ooh, so shout out to God in therapy, right? Be-
Hey, 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 hey,
there's
God,
our there's our
hold
magic
up,
treat.
hold up.
I knew it was gonna be here. I knew it was gonna be here.
Yeah,
So listen, when y'all that's our favorite phrase. Shout out to God in therapy. So when y'all hear that, we gonna be diving into these cards because they are like a combination of the two. Y'all stay
I'm
tuned for
about to
that.
say,
It's gonna be
give me your feedback. Get a card ready because we got
wild.
to do that. But yeah, give me your feedback first.
So the reason I say a shout out is because I at one point was that person who like heard a criticism, and even if I was valid with my points, I waited until something was said about me so that I could, use like my counter argument, which was something different. And so, like, I'm in a better place where, like, I realize that's not the time to voice my displeasure. One, I should have done it before this point, but even if I'm still holding on to it, my displeasures with whatever shouldn't happen when you bring a grievance to me. And so as we always say, it's not every because I've been that person, as a man who took the criticism wrong and flipped it. But I will say, like, a lot of women, or some women, can't handle criticism. And I mean that's like at every level. Young women, like, what I my the majority of my students are female, and like the way that I can talk to my male students, and I got to make it black and white like this. My male students is different than how I talk to my female students. And having enough years under my belt to try different approaches to that, it's still different because I know certain criticisms aren't going to sit well, even if they're true. So I wish the dude in the video would have led with the last thing he said, like, because I felt like that was less superficial than the other things. Like he, like led with the sex part and like all of that, which I get him. If you were one way beforehand and now you're taking away from me, like after the I do's, I'm gonna probably feel a way about it, but I feel like he should have led with the, when I say this, you don't hear me. Like if I'm, struggling with this, like trying to, you're not really hearing me. So I get him, but I also have been the person he's describing. So it ain't just
Yeah,
them.
yeah. What's your thought, Rich?
Rich's avatar.
Uh oh. Did we lose him?
He no, he's shout out to Rich. He's doing the dad thing at the same time. So RJ probably got him, you know, uh something.
Predisposed.
Yeah, when we say this is the most organic, it's because we got kids in the background. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of things. Um,
Everything.
yeah. So I mean,
Everything.
yeah, I think it's an important point to make. One of the things that I'm not really like seeing much of now, and I thought about this a lot the other day. Apologies, like real genuine apologies,
Yeah.
or like even
Yeah.
even if it's not in the moment, like that reflection after the fact. Hey, you know what? I thought about what you said earlier, and it makes sense now that I'm calm and I can say that I was wrong. Like
Yeah.
that part of reflection, I don't see much of now. So, like, I do get what he's saying.
Agreed.
All right. What we talking about? The most organic, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see. I think that it's not just women, of course. When it comes to like people picking things out of an argument and focusing in on that because it could be a trigger, right? So it's a trigger word. So I can't sit here and say it's all women, or even all women, or even most. I just think people have certain triggers, certain things that they key in on when they hear it. A lot of people are defensive, so when they feel attacked, once they start to feel attacked, they're defensive now, so they can't really receive it. Uh, so, Kev, I came in at the last part of what you were saying about, just kind of like taking the. I think you're saying taking the information and then coming back once you've calmed down or whatever. That's absolutely listen. That needs to be the case. I heard something the other day where it was saying that um, sometimes you really just need to like just write everything down, like write it down, and then have the have the conversation instead of having like this full blown out argument. Have a conversation, intelligent conversation, where you can now talk about the things that are going on and what's wrong, um, and that's where you can, I believe, get to a deeper level when you can, be clear, calm, and concise about what it really is that you're concerned about or what you really want to talk about, instead of going off of feelings and emotion and being just irate in the moment or angry in the moment, or you really don't want to feel this way, so you're putting all this, you're defensive, so you're putting all this anger and things into I lost what I was saying. I'm about to whoo. um
I was gonna say you look you went dad mode real quick,
Yeah,
bro.
it's a
so listen,
high.
again, it circles back to that whole communication, right? Communication is the key. um but yeah, that's what I got so far.
Yeah, fair, fair. Yeah. Before I give my take, let's go ahead and take this shot for God and therapy. Ha ha! He said it. He said it. Oh my God! I can't believe it.
I got
Man, 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 man.
man, 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 man. Yeah. Oh, that's so grossly entertaining to me. That is so
Yeah.
entertaining to me. Um, but yes, that's what's going to lead to the cards. So I think this one is in line. What standards will I hold for myself or my partner in regard to communication in my relationship? Um, yeah, y'all let me know. What standards will I hold for myself or my partner in regard to communication in my relationship?
Ah. Hmm. Jump in, Rich. What you think?
What standards would I hold for myself in regards to communication?
Yeah, in my relationship.
Oh man. Again, I think it's what I was just talking about. um you know i I I want to hear. So so for me, I don't like arguments. Um I don't like uh domestic disputes and all of that. I don't like it. It's triggering, right? So I will be quick to diffuse um any like real big argument with my wife. I will be quick to like, it's a battle that to I'm willing to lose, that battle in order to like, end it, and then we come back to what's going on. I'm willing to to I'm willing to come back to the table after we've calmed down and things of that nature. So some of the standards for me is like you know um, we gotta be clear, level headed. We gotta be concise. Like I said before, we gotta be again we gotta be loving. It's not about tearing each other down or focusing all on negative things. Um, I and definitely truth. Honesty is definitely up there. Um, and even even if you got to know yourself and how
Mm.
you receive information. Is you say, just give it to me raw. Just give me the truth, all the truth, the whole truth. Give it to me raw. No, tell me now. You really got to know yourself. That's a standard of mine is really knowing how you receive information. And if you let me know that, I'm willing to like compromise and say, okay, I know this is like a trigger for her, and let me put it in a way that she can understand it, and then we can converse. We can be able to have this conversation without like me antagonizing or hitting those trigger points. So yeah.
I thought we were getting some Trey. Yeah. For me, I would say at this point,
My bad. My bad.
okay.
Go
Um,
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got to
yeah,
finish your
I
thought.
can't at this point. I can't have disagreements that include like raised voices and profanity. Like those are the two triggering things for me now. And so like when it gets to a point of profanity, I can't talk anymore. Like I literally shut down to the point things almost become funny. Like I it's a serious moment, but I'm gonna laugh because I'm like that uncomfortable. So I don't have like I can argue, but the minute like a voice is raised, and that may be me. So like if I know I'm about to raise my voice, I'm shutting down and I'm walking away from the conversation, which I realize can be frustrating to a partner. However, I know nothing constructive is going to come from me at that point. So like there's not a point to continue the conversations. And I'm gonna hold myself to that standard. I like I said, I know it's not the best thing always, but I would I would rather go that route than to make things worse by stepping out of the actual discussion to be something else.
Yeah, I dig that. Communication is the biggest deal for me, and Rich, you kind of said it. Kev, you kind of alluded to it. Um, we got to be able to talk. We got to be able to talk calmly. Like if that means okay, cool, we're gonna take a step back, and come back, bring it back to the table, and discuss this stuff later. Discuss it further. That's fine. We can totally do that, but not talking about it, not dealing with it, that's not an option. Like that's a standard for that both of us have for each other, right? Because my wife and I, we're not going to be playing games. We're not going to be playing guessing games with what the other person thinks or feels or anything like that. So we decided years ago that the constructive criticism, the honest criticism, was exactly what we needed. And if we can't handle that, then we don't need to be together. If we can't be now, there's a difference between being brutally honest and being an asshole, right? And just saying stuff in a mean-spirited way. There is a difference. At the same time, when you're being honest, it can't be taken as an attack, an insult. And again, shout out to, as you said, shout out to God in therapy. There we go. We got another shot coming after this one. But but those are the kinds of things that you learn. Like, you can't blow up about everything. Everything ain't actually about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to consider the other person's feelings as well, right? Like, so like you said, for example, you might be the one that raises your voice. Okay. It's wrong, sure. You apologize for it, sure. Bring it back to the table, say I can handle myself better, sure. But is it considered why you were yelling? Is it considered why you raised your voice? Is it considered what pushed you to that point? Especially with somebody that you love and you care about so deeply, is that part being considered? I think that needs to be considered as well on both sides, for men and women. But that part needs to be considered as well. Considered. That doesn't mean that you just let them get away with, disrespectful you. What I've been drinking, being disrespectful to you. Them being disrespectful to you, or if you're a man emasculating you, if you're a woman talking down to you, something like that. That doesn't mean that those things are okay. But again, you gotta kind of know, and at least have an idea where it's coming from. And if you don't, then
You got to figure that out.
or leave or split.
Yeah.
Or go elsewhere. It's not fruitful. It's not worth it to stay together, trying to force a square peg into a round hole. It's not worth it, giggity. But it's not worth it. I'm just saying. All right, man, let's move on. Speaking of, of course, Rich, shout out to you doing your father thing, man. This is a very key subject, actually, that we're about to talk about. Is about fathers.
Real
and
quick before you go
fatherhood.
into it, what's
Yeah.
so you said emasculate, right? What's the female word for emasculate? Because you
Would
were
that
saying don't emasculate them. What's the female version of that word?
would that be belittling? I know.
Because I was trying to think of it. I was like,
Probably.
is it fit? Because it
Femasculating?
Look, if you ask me, it would be masculating. Because emasculating a man is basically taking away his masculinity. You know, emasculating a woman is taking away her femininity. So,
Something.
you know,
because is it fit? So what about effemininity? I don't know. All right, I don't know.
effeminizing.
Defem. We call it
Definitely.
defem.
Defem.
All
There
right,
we
we're
go.
moving on.
Something like that.
Random thought.
Oh, on to the next one, man. Hey, look, but before we get into this next one, man, I want to give a quick shout out. Obviously, computer issues are necessary, so I'll be hitting these people up myself very, very soon. But that being said, man, shout out to Scope It Endeavors, man, and I'll put a link in the description for all of your IT needs, your computer needs, and I'm talking about literally everything. I'm talking you need an app made. If you need to figure out how to get your network working. You like we are now, you trying to figure out, how to keep your screen from freezing. I know you see this, all right? So how to keep your screen from freezing, all of that, man. They handle all of that stuff, man. Big shout out to them. Let's see, hold on. Let's see if we can do this right. All that.
Yeah. Old commercials.
All that. Check them out, man.
Yeah.
Scope It Endeavors, Scope IT Endeavors. I like Scope It. I just like Scope It. It's Scope IT, but I like Scope It. But yeah, check them out, man. ScopeITEndeavors.com. All your needs, all your IT needs, man, got you covered. All right.
Now we just need a jingle.
Enough paying the bills. No.
Right.
Scoping it.
Yeah, basically. Hey.
Scoping.
I feel like that's something. That's the beginning of it. All right, man. Let's get into this real quick, man. Let's talk a little bit about fatherhood here.
You gotta hear this.
Man and wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail.
So 70% of inmates are a product of a single parent household.
But they have the same statistical chance as children raised by just their father.
What they don't tell you is that single fathers produce similar statistics of those of homes with two parents, while single mothers don't.
I'm saying that there's so many reasons to why this percentage could be this high.
But mothers are awarded custody 90% of the time.
Did you know that? I just saw an article the other day that hookers are more likely to get custody of their children. Prostitutes, hookers.
Pearl, that is such a great point, because everybody wants to look at what the problems are, what the man are, and assume that the mother is a good mother. I have represented so many shitty mothers that still get custody of these kids.
Women are incentivized to leave a marriage.
But everybody's like, oh, well, 90% of the time, the moms get custody, so there must be a reason on the dad's side. This is what you just said. No one looks at the mother's side, though, and wonders, why is it that even with women being poor mothers, they get custody 90% of the time?
And prisons profit $74 billion a year.
Imagine if it was vice versa, if women only got custody 10% of the time.
I
Like
agree.
we would be in uproar about
Absolutely.
it. But you never hear about it.
Am I thinking too much, or is there some sort of plan here?
So if we want to keep children out of prison, mother, father, or just father?
We're not looking at all the reasons, though. Like, there could be reasons to why that stat is.
90%?
Yeah, there could be reasons to where, okay,
So you
maybe
think
the
9 out of
father
10
did not want to be around. Maybe
9 out
the
of
father
10
can't be around as
9
much.
out of 10. 9 out of 10 of them.
Yes, 9 out of 10.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Stay hungry, my friends.
Nine times out of 10, the woman is awarded custody. However, you've all heard and seen the stats rather. So, I know we're gonna have a lot to say about this one. So I'm gonna look at my clock because we already at 1:20. Go ahead, Kev. What's your thought?
So I feel like we got to preface everything. So I'm prefacing this by saying I would never take anything away from a woman. I was raised, me and my brothers, by a single black woman who took care of everything, kept a roof over our heads, and guided us to be the best possible men that we could be to this very day. So, shout out to Rita Francis, Mac Ray Lewis. But when I was a teacher on the Eastern Shore, kids were brought to me that I didn't even teach because people felt like as a man, and particularly a black male in that area, like I had authority, which, I'm a school teacher. I don't think that's any more authoritative than any other school teacher because we have the same title, or more authoritative than administrators who have a higher title. However, I had better rapport. I had more respect. I had, more than a lot of other teachers had. The same kids that would disrespect other teachers knew not to play in my face like that. So I do believe that fathers come with a certain discipline level and a certain authoritative presence that creates, a scenario that alleviates a lot of the things that were talked about, particularly how, children turn out when the father's not present or not in the home. Fathers come with a good authoritative presence to deal with those kinds of things. So this is something that I understand, and once again, I'm gonna end it the same way I started it. Take nothing away from a woman. I just see how children, through their teenage years and even in adult years, respond to males in authoritative positions than they do to females.
Yeah, men are different. You know what I mean?
Because we're supposed
different. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're supposed to be. We're not the same, right? And I know ladies listening and all that. We're not the same. We're not, and that's okay. It's okay that we're not the same. At least it should be okay that we're not the same. We're not the same. We're not built the same. We're not designed the same. Things that you say and things that I say aren't the same. And that's okay. That's why dads are so important. That's why fathers are so important. You saw in the very first part of that clip, You see the little baby puppy barking at mom, chirping and all that kind of stuff. Dad come through, one bark. My man, sit down. Puppy sat right down. And so for you, like what happened with you at Eastern Shore, I laugh about that to some extent. And this again is not to take away from anybody, but but they're not you. You are what, 6'3"? 6'3", about what, 220, 230?
And well, when I was there, I was about that. I'm down to like 205, pushing 200. But
My
yeah,
man.
I'm certainly like 230 ish.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Like you're not a small dude. You know what I'm saying? You can be assertive when you need to be and all that. I mean that's what honestly that's what makes you a good teacher. And that's the point I think I saw with all of these videos is it's the importance of men understanding our role in our families, in our communities, in the schools, and so on. And this idea that you know, fathers ain't nothing. Just a paycheck. And I'm just saying things that I've heard. I'm just saying things I've heard. I don't know that anybody listening espouses those opinions, but that's what I've heard. Like you just a paycheck. If I got a job, I don't need a man. You know what I'm saying? And I look at these same people and I say, but you have kids. But you have kids. I'm not saying that 70% of people raised by single, or that video doesn't say that 70% of people raised by single moms are going to jail. What it says that of the people in jail, 70% of them came out of single parent household, specifically single mother household. And I also thought it was an interesting stat that the same results from a father, just the father, are similar to if the mother and the father are present. What's your thought on that?
I'm not touching that.
Rich,
I'm not touching it.
is he there? He might
Yeah.
he might be off.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay, that's
I
fine.
I get it. I'm not saying I don't get it. It's just, and of course, I'm gonna be biased because again, I was raised by a single mother
Yeah,
who kept her kids out of jail, who kept their kids away from crime and selling to like the stereotypes of
absolutely,
black,
absolutely.
of black boys. We weren't drug dealers, we weren't gangbangers, we weren't whatever, like in and out the system. We were raised intelligent, we were educated, we were talented and gifted, all the way through. Like we had specialties, we had opportunities. I got to play recreational sports, and at a point, so did my brothers. Like we participated in other clubs. I learned how to play chess. Like we weren't denied
Well
anything
rounded.
by what I'm saying, by a single mother. So I have a hard time with this. I'm not saying I don't understand it. I just I know what the power of a woman who's about her business, what I'm saying, and is selfless in that position can do in the same way that a father would be able to do in that space.
Okay, and I don't disagree with that. And I guess the question for me then is because or the key for me there is um, one that is about her business and is about the business of raising their kids properly. Because while yes, well, I won't say this. I'll ask you, your mom, did she put you around positive male influences, like
We
intentionally, like on purpose? You know what I
I
mean?
so I mean, like, do I know that to be a fact? I would say no, but whether it was like intentional, but understanding where we needed to be was intentional because we were raised in the church. And so of course, who are you going to find in the church of the male perspective, but what I'm saying, God fearing leaders. And what I'm saying, they were pastors. Well, granted, my first pastor was a woman, but I had male pastors. I had like finance chairs, committee chairs. Even we participated in a share project, which is a DC based thing, where you prepare baskets every week for the community at much cheaper prices than supermarket stuff. So like we rode in the van for church to do the share thing and came back and packed those boxes up, put them in cars. Like we were taught everything. We stood outside of grocery stores and helped older women, take their groceries to the car. We didn't expect money. This was just something we did, while she was shopping for groceries because she showed us a better way. So I'll say, like, I believe all of her actions were intentional, but like, I'm making it a point to get them around positive males. I don't know if that was the intent, but she just kept us in the right places and told us the right things.
Yeah, yeah. And that ultimately that's the important part there, is that you have you're in a place where you can be influenced by different people, and obviously I know you and your brothers, you can tell that there were some good positive influences of men around you guys. You know what I mean? I often say it's hard to describe a color you've never seen before, and it is. But it makes it infinitely easier when there is somebody that can, you know, even from the little stuff, like like in my church we had those men that would, what I'm talking about, those men that would just check you one good
Mhm.
time, you know what I'm saying, and be like, hey man, look, listen, I know I was 15 once, I know I was 12 once, I know I was 18 once, right? But you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that because of these reasons, right? And
Right.
and then on top of that, and I know I had this a lot, and then the Bible says this and that, and really
Connections.
it don't matter what I say, the Bible said this, and
Yeah.
that's the kind of that type of upbringing that I had too, and I think that part is key. So again, I don't believe that being a single mother dooms your kids. It does not. Okay, it does not. Because there are single fathers that are jackasses, there are married fathers that are jackasses, and so on and so forth, right? It's a lot of all the above. However, the stats don't lie. The fathers need to be involved in the kids' lives. And we talked a couple weeks back about some, and obviously yours didn't do that, but some women who do everything they can to try to punish the father by keeping the kids out of their father's lives, and that's a mistake. That's a big mistake. It doesn't mean that they're going to end up in jail, but of the people that are in jail, 7 out of every 10 came out of a single mother situation, and that shouldn't be ignored.
Yeah, and I mean, just the family dynamic is important, and for me, this is why like whatever the healthiest way that can look, the family dynamic is important because there are, and I know of amazing, co-parents who they just, for whatever reason weren't good together, but they do amazing jobs with their kids, and they compromise and they whatever the case may be in from that dynamic. So like, whereas I can imagine if they had stayed together for the kids, or, like whatever the case may be, you do more damage because you're around the house together, you know, and the energy is different. You can like see the dirty looks that they pass, like even though it's not verbal necessarily, you can still, it's palpable. So like I
Yeah.
just feel like the understanding that it does have to be a little bit of everybody in order to make the best human. If you understand that concept, if you keep the main thing, then your child or your children have better odds.
Yep. Yep. It can't be about you. Once your kid's born, it's no longer about you. You know what I mean? It's no longer about you, right? You missed your window, right? Oh, I didn't get to live my life when I was young. You missed your
I,
window.
I
Okay,
will.
all right. Like, it is what it
I
is.
will.
I didn't get to enjoy my 20s. You should have kept your legs closed, or you shouldn't have let him shoot the club up, or you should have made him strap up, or you should
Or
have got
he
a
should
plan
have
B,
did.
or you know what I'm saying? Sorry, it ain't about you no more. Next generation, homie. I'm just saying.
Just
I'm
saying.
just saying. We out, man. All right, look. Last couple things, man. Let's just do this. We got rapid fire. We back, baby.
Let's do it.
on. Let's get my man's back in there. Not sure what happened there. Nah, man, good stuff. Good stuff. We got a couple, like one or two more things to go through real quick, man. I want to get y'all feedback on this. Rich sends his regards. He is doing his thing as a dad, as he should. Ain't nobody mad at him. So do your thing, brother. We will see you next go around. But that being said, man, we got the nines at the helm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, so we're gonna make it do what it do. All right, so here's what I want you. So it's just me and you now. Here's what I want your feedback on. If you've ever been in a situation where you stumbled on a big amount of money and you had to now make a decision. You had to make a decision whether you were going to do the right thing or keep it.
Listen, if God drops it in my lap, it's a blessing. You know, especially in the McDonald's case, if it ain't no name on that bag, that's just a Happy Meal bag and you're keeping it pushing. That's a blessing from the Lord. I'll still tap the 10%, but 90 coming with me.
I feel the same way. Let's take a look at that scenario.
Yo, I don't know.
Yes. Wow. I just went to McDonald's and he's handed me my sausage McMuffin and this bag. Well, what's in this bag? Their fucking deposit. Why? Just a couple $1,000s here. Like, what is this? Why would they do this? What the fuck? So now I have to return this because I'm a good person, I guess. How interesting. Okay, I'm at McDonald's. Why would you guys do this to me? You know how bad I want this money? Why put me in this situation? You guys laundering money out here?
No.
What the?
This was a just past. Oh my god. You are a blessed bro, God. Oh my god. Oh my god. I really want to give you a hug. Oh my god. I even want to take a picture of you.
I cut that short, but they were just all hugging me and thanking me and crying. And I get free McDonald's for a month, I guess. Wow.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's not the right one. Let's do this again. Okay. Swap it out. There we go. All right.
Glad to be
there we
here.
go. There we go. We back. Now you know the full scenario. We got 2 minutes. What's your thought?
My thoughts is I'm $1,000 richer. That's where I am. I'm $1,000 richer.
Chang.
Like I said, I'm on time to 10%, but 90's coming with me. Thank y'all. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get back in line and get a supersized meal with that money.
Make them go find the old supersized boxes. I want the old supersize too. I don't want this new supersize that's basically a medium. I want the real supersize.
I got long money on it.
Hello? King. I agree with this statement right here. Someone was probably planning on stealing that anyway, because who puts a deposit in a regular bag?
Not even a regular bag, a McDonald's bag. That ain't
McDonald's bag.
The brown bag with no label on it is regular. They put it in a McDonald's bag.
Who does that? Shout out to that guy, because honestly, if he doesn't return that money, everybody on staff is getting fired. Everybody's getting fired.
And shoot, this went viral. Everybody probably still got fired.
I mean, I probably would. I'd probably, you know. Especially if we can retro back things that people said 10 and 15 years ago and cancel them off. That I'm absolutely canceling them off of almost losing the deposit. I'm canceling all their jobs. All their jobs getting canceled. The deposit?
Hit him with that Vince McMahon, Donald Trump, you're fired.
You're fired. Straight up. Straight up. Not today. No, sir. Now I'm trying to tell you. All right, cool, man. I think that's it. Actually, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That is it. Oh no, I'm sorry. No. We got one more. The as on the way out, right? Thinking about this. The remember a couple weeks back we talked about the quarterback that the white guy that was in Florida that used the N-word on Snap.
Yeah. He got a deal.
Well, yeah, he got 2 scholarship offers from HBCUs. One was, I believe, was Alcorn and Alabama State.
Yeah. So, listen, we probably should have tucked this into the fair foul. But I'm not mad at it. Like, because I mean, for the HBCUs, you're looking for stellar players, and I mean, in the same way that HBCUs take chances on like kids who had bad grades and they turn it around, they do the same thing with athletes. One of the Bowie State teams that made it the furthest they had ever gone was filled with like people who had like juvenile records or like criminal records or whatever the case may be, and they balled. Like, it makes your school look good, and people deserve second and third chances. I can only think of all the second and third chances I've had. What he did wasn't egregious, wrong, but not egregious.
Yep, I agree. And honestly, I think it's more so insensitive than it was wrong. That's me personally. I think it's more insensitive than wrong, but at the same time, if they made the fucking song and you like the fucking song, you're probably gonna sing the lyrics to the song. I mean, again, if he said it to a player, like, man, that nigga sucks. Like, he said something like that. Sorry, I probably can't even say that. Oh man, that N-word sucks. Oh man, if he had said something like that, I'd be like, okay, maybe. But I mean, he was literally singing the lyrics to a song that literally millions of people are singing the lyrics to, and somebody greenlit those lyrics. So I got nothing. It is what it is, man. Hey, guys, appreciate y'all coming through again, being part of the most organic conversations on the internet. We love y'all. We appreciate you. Kev, final thoughts, man. What you got for us, bro?
Just as we get ready to head into a new month, February's around the corner. People get kind of big, high on themselves about love and all the things that love entails. So just like we talked about tonight, start with yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself. Self-care is important. Time to rest is important. Time to refuel is important because you can't do anything if you don't. So make sure you're loving on yourself in this season, taking care of yourself and each other. Like, subscribe, follow.
All of that. Like, subscribe, follow, share, all that stuff. Give us y'all feedback. We're not afraid of constructive criticism. Okay, I know we got to work on the audio and the camera. I'm working on that, okay? Okay, it's about RAM and storage space and that kind of thing. My internet is dope. It's not that. Anyway, that's it, man. Guys, again, we love y'all. We appreciate you. Thank you again, as always, for being the best part of Up to It, Down to It. We appreciate y'all. I'm going to give y'all a quick preview of some of the stuff we're going to talk about next week. So that's it, man. Like you said, be safe, be cool. And that's it, man. That's it. That's all we got, yo. We out of here.
You could bring some big energy. You don't have to have a big oh, that's big energy. That just like, I feel like that's just a way of saying like he's a cool guy. And
Have
then
you used small energy?
Probably just
to describe what?
An asshole, a
Okay.
douchebag.
Who here is for body positivity?
Yes. Yeah.
Who isn't?
For body
I hope
positivity?
you are.
Yes.
How can you simultaneously say that you're for body positivity, but then also use these terms?
Because it's not actually about their body.
The reverse, y'all would lose your shit if we were talking about loose energy, cavernous energy, small energy, girl energy. Like, y'all would lose your minds if guys were using these terms the same way that women use big energy, small energy.